Hello class, and welcome to our video talking about the information you can find on page 455 through, looks like here, 465 or 464 in your textbook. So this is basically Excel Chapter 1 Part E we're looking at here in the textbook. So make sure you have your textbook out and following along and also watching the screen as well. Now in this one we're going to be talking about worksheets, which of course we said this is a spreadsheet with information on them, page setup, and then also printing. Now when we manage our worksheets, often we're going to have multiple sheets in here. And some of you figured out you can press the plus sign to add more and have different ones. So you can see my sheet 1 is zoomed in with text on it. Sheet 2 doesn't have anything, along with sheet 3 and 4. So to insert one and delete a worksheet, you can click the new sheet to the right of the last worksheet tab, which I just did. You can also click the insert arrow over here and choose insert sheet. That's another way to add it in there. And then also you can right click any sheet tab, so say sheet tab number 2, and I could choose insert from the shortcut menu as well. Or even better, I can use the shortcut of Shift and F11, and that'll make a new sheet right there where I have it. So great there. Now obviously I don't really want sheet 5 here, I want sheet 1, and so I'm going to go and decide to get rid of it. So there's a couple ways I could do it. I could go up here to delete arrow right here in the cells group, click delete arrow, and it'll delete the sheet for me. Or I could go and right click any of these sheet tabs and choose delete down here as well. So I'm going to leave that one up though, but you could do that. So there's multiple ways to do this for inserting and then of course deleting a worksheet. Now to copy or move a worksheet, there's a couple ways to do it. To copy a worksheet, you can do a couple of the following things. I could press and hold Control as I drag the worksheet tab, so you can see that. Or excuse me, hold down Control, and when I let go, so I'm going to show it one more time here. Give me a second, let's undo that. Oh, I forgot you can't undo that. So let me delete these, delete permanently, very good, delete these. Okay, so I click on it, hold down, so I'm dragging it, then I hold the Control button, and you notice it has that plus sign. And that's how I can paste it, copy it, and then paste it if I want an extra one. Otherwise I can right click the sheet tab as well and choose move or copy right here to display the dialog box, and then I can choose to move the selected sheet, so sheet 2 I'm looking at, and I can decide if I want it before whichever sheet over here. And then you can also choose create a copy. So it's a lot simpler to just click and drag and then hold down the Control button if you want a copy, but you can do that. And then also, to move a worksheet, I kind of explained some of these from the top of page 457 already. You can drag it. You could click in the format cells group, the format button in the cells group, and then also choose rename sheet, move or copy sheet, all those. So you have plenty of options on how to do it. Now to rename a worksheet, you can do it a couple ways. Double click a sheet tab and type in the new name. So I'm going to put down title sheet because that's what we're looking at. So just put down a name. That's one way to do it. So double click. You can also and then just press enter, and then you can also click the sheet tab for the sheet you want to rename, and then click format in the cells group and choose rename sheet. So I'm going to rename this one to Billy Bob, and then press enter, or right click the sheet tab, choose rename, and I'm going to select here, let's go with Gandalf. Yeah, let's do that. Press enter, and that's how I rename them. So multiple ways. A lot of times when you're working in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Publisher, there's multiple ways to do it. So alright, now looking at the header here, page 457, selecting page setup options. And really we're going to be looking at the page layout tab at the top. So let's click on the page layout. You can see here's all my ribbon, and page setup is right here. And I'm just going to briefly go through some of these. Margins is the inches from that are left blank on the page. So I have all the stuff I type here, but this is how much I want left. Now normal is typically 0.75 on the top and bottom, and then 0.7 on the left and right, and then you can see the header and footer. There with Microsoft Word, it's typically 1 inches on each side. So a little bit different there, but margins are your default space. Orientation, of course, over here decides do you want portrait, which is vertical up and down, or landscape, left and right. And then we have size, of course. You can choose what size of paper you're using from over here. Print area, this displays a list of set or clear area. So when you have a very large worksheet, you might want to print only a portion of the worksheet. So to do so, you can select the range you want to print, click print area in the page setup, and select print area. So if I only want to print, say, this part of it, I could click print area and set this as the print area. And so when I go to print, this is what it's going to choose, or I could choose this. And then also we have breaks. If I want to put a page break, I don't have, so I could click on that, insert a page, remove page break. I have the background, background button over here, and I can choose an image to appear in the background of it as well. So I'm going to let's look up Grumpy Cat, shall we? That wonderful old meme. And I can choose this right here, click insert, and it'll put as the background for my Excel spreadsheet. Doesn't that look great? I think that's so wonderful. So you can do this as well. And then of course print titles. This enables you right here to select column headings and row labels to repeat on multiple page printouts. So if I have a printout and say the same information, the column is so long it goes into the next page, I can have it so that the title, the label, appears on every single page. So and you would go through this here and choose all that stuff, and so you'll do a little bit of that in the exercise as well. Now, to set the margin options, the margin tab contains options for setting the specific margins, as we said. And so if I click on the margins tab, I can choose here, or I can choose custom margins, and then you can see figure 1.52 in your textbook, and it looks a lot like this. And then this explains options here to center the worksheet data between the margins. So do I want it horizontally centered? Do I want it vertically? And you can see it changed here as I check these boxes. You can also create header and footer as well in your document as well. So you click the arrows to choose from several perforated entries, or alternatively click custom header or custom footer. So the way I get to that here is, let's see, I believe it's my insert tab, and then I could choose from over here. There's multiple ways, but this is usually the way I take header and footer, and it shows it visible right here. So it shows what it would look like, and then I have different options I can choose for header and footer as well. So now the way they were showing is in page layout. You can look at it right here. So I could choose header and footer tab, or I could do it through text. If you already have page set up, you could go through and get these taken care of all in one shot. But for header and footer, I have here, I can click on, see a list of pre-done ones, so to speak, pre-formatted, or if I want a custom one, excuse me, I keep yawning, I can click on either one of these buttons right here. And now it goes through on the next page a list of all the different types. You're going to be working with these in the exercise, so I'm not necessarily going to talk through all of them, but you can briefly look at them in your textbook if you'd like. And then select sheet options. The sheet tab contains options, so I'll click on that, for setting the print area, print titles, print options, and page or order. So all these different options here for how I would want the print titles to look, so to speak. Here you could see the figure 155. They kind of explain through it a little bit as well. Alright, previewing and printing a worksheet. We're moving through this very quickly. Page 463. Now, Microsoft Office Backstage View displays printing options and displays the worksheet in print preview mode. Print preview helps you see before printing if the data are balanced on the page or if the data will print on multiple pages. And I typically like to see this view as well. So, and of course you can change different views down here if you want, and then of course there's other ways to do it too. But I'm looking at basically the print preview view right now. So it shows me, okay, I'm going to get the grumpy cat and only part of his head on the bottom part of the page there. So that's just a brief overview of the information on those pages for Excel Chapter 1 Part E. So make sure you go to exercise number 5. So Excel Chapter 1 hands-on exercise number 5, which is over, of course, worksheets, page setup, and printing as well.